I look up to Bud a lot. Honestly, he one of the realest dudes that I done met. He's still a normal person in his head. Like, he don't believe that he's above everyone else. And that's how I feel about myself.
You see me around a lot.
Oh, no.
Don't act like you ain't seen me around
them days.
He said that
Bud, come on. Terrence talking, I try not to talk back. I try to just listen and
straight, boom, straight shot. Like right here, boom, there you go. But you gotta make sure you step. Bam. That's when they're trying to run out. When they're trying to run, pop, there you go.
even if I don't.
Shakur Stevenson is entering this camp with a noticeably sharper mentality. This isn't being treated like a routine title defense. He's deliberately surrounding himself with elite competition, which shows the seriousness and respect he's giving to a possible showdown with Teofimo Lopez.
What do you think he can throw? The hook, because you out the way of the right hand.
He like a sponge. He soak up everything that he needs to soak up, put it into his arsenal, and then he make the best out of everything that he learned from everybody.
Then throw it straight left to the bottom.
At the end of the day, you don't want to feel like a know-it-all. And the people that know it all are the people that don't go very far. You got to always be a student. You got to always be able to learn and pick up things from this person, that person.
Shakur Stevenson isn't treating this camp like just another title defense. He's sharpening blades in elite company, and that tells you everything about how seriously he's taking Teofimo Lopez.
He's a work of art. The sky is the limit with Shakur. He got the boxing skills and the ability to, do whatever he wants in the ring. And it's going to be very hard to beat Shakur, with the skills that he possesses and the smarts that he has, and given the opportunity, I think he...
Inside the ring, Shakur is a complete technician with limitless upside. His blend of clean fundamentals and sharp ring awareness allows him to dictate pace and positioning. Facing someone like him is never simple because he solves problems in real time. If the right doors keep opening, he has the tools to challenge anyone in the division and potentially stand alone at the top.
Everybody in the division, and be the last man standing given the opportunity.
Shakur has been putting in work alongside Terrence Crawford, training at D1 Training Colorado Springs, the same high-performance spot where Crawford prepared for his Canelo showdown. That alone changes the temperature of this fight. This isn't just pads and cardio. This is elite-level problem-solving, where timing, positioning, and mental discipline get tested every single round.
That I sent somebody to steal his passport, replicate his job, all types of weird stuff.
He called me earlier. He's like, yo, when you spar, I'm going to come to the gym. I'm like, I'm going to spar at 4 o'clock. I really didn't think he was going to pull up, but he pulled up. It means everything, his advice and listening to him in the ring. He calling out little shit. I'm trying to make sure I do what he says. So a hell of a blessing to have Bud, Floyd, all these guys backing me, and I appreciate them. I'm just trying to keep pushing and keep getting better.
Shakur has been putting in serious work alongside Terrence Crawford at D1 Training in Colorado Springs. This is the same high-level environment where Crawford prepared for his clash with Canelo, which alone adds weight to the situation. This isn't light training. It's intense, detail-oriented preparation centered on timing, decision-making, positioning, and mental discipline tested through hard rounds.
It may have been Teo and Shakur, especially if you would never fight Shakur, right? How do you see this fight playing out?
I see it playing out, let's say, I see it starting off slow.
Okay.
And then I see as Shakur wins the first round, as Shakur wins the second round, slowly, I think Teo is going to eventually start picking it up and start imposing his will.
Right.
And then, it's just going to go from there. That's how I think it's going to go.
That's a fair assessment.
That's a fair one.
Especially for that to be his brother.
Working with someone like Terrence Crawford forces you to deal with real pressure and constant adjustments. Nothing is scripted. Nothing comes easy. The focus is likely on staying composed, creating traps, and punishing mistakes efficiently. More than anything, it speaks to Shakur's mindset. You don't choose Crawford as a partner unless you're ready to be challenged, corrected, and pushed beyond comfort.
Teo is nice. A lot, man, no doubt.
Yeah, and Keyshawn, speaking of Teo, you've been vocal about your desire to fight Teofimo Lopez. And of course, I was there in Las Vegas, right, when you FaceTime Teo. Now Teo's fighting Shakur Stevenson, but do we see Keyshawn and Teo at some point?
How was Teo acting when I FaceTimed him? Since you brought it up, how was he acting?
You tell me. You tell the people.
Why do I gotta tell you? What you asked me again? Because I want to answer that. What'd you say?
Yo, do we see you and Tio fight in the future?
Training in an environment built on championship standards isn't just about skills. It's about control. Against a fighter like Teofimo Lopez, who thrives on chaos and explosive exchanges, Shakur appears to be sharpening calm execution under pressure. This camp feels intentional and dangerous in a quiet way. It's the kind of preparation that doesn't shout early, but makes noise when it matters most. And just as the intensity of training with Crawford sets the tone, Keyshawn Davis steps in with one of the most level-headed breakdowns of the entire matchup. There's no hype chasing, no dramatic exaggeration, just someone speaking from shared experience with both fighters, essentially saying this fight will build before it erupts.
Shakur outpoints him in a very competitive fight.
Beats him.
What then? What then for you and Teo?
For the businessman, huh?
All right, cool. Okay, since you worded it like that, I don't, because I won't go say that shit. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what the future holds. I just know what I want to do, and I want to go to 147 and become a champion. Because I just feel like them guys just can't beat me from 140 to 147. And I just feel like, I'm a surprise the boxing world. I'm small. I just moved to 140, and I'm gonna be fighting guys naturally bigger than me, and I'm gonna be stopping.
That perspective matters, because when Keyshawn explains that the fight starts controlled before Teofimo raises the pressure, it's coming from real time spent in the gym, not guesswork. He doesn't dismiss Teofimo as a threat, because doing so would be dishonest. Yet he also doesn't dodge making a pick. He leans slightly towards Shakur on the cards, but closer than many expect. That's the key. This isn't a walkover or a collapse. It's a competitive battle with momentum swings, where both fighters are tested.
A bit off of what you just said. I want to start by just giving them credit. A lot of these guys avoid certain fights. They're not avoiding them right now. You got to give them credit. A lot of people took shots at Shakur, and Teofimo at certain spots. He's avoiding this guy. He's avoiding that guy. You can't take those shots at these two guys. Definitely can't now. They are stepping up, and they are taking fights that a lot of people are probably surprised they took. Now, a lot of people will say style-wise, Teddy, style-wise, is this going to be a great fight? I don't know if it will. I mean, style-wise, I could see you having a little reservations. Two skillful fighters, two talented fighters, two fighters that are at a high skill level that will compete in the...
Stands out most is how Keyshawn separates loyalty from analysis. He appreciates Shakur's presence during tough moments, but once the bell rings, emotion is removed. The focus becomes energy management and timing. No exaggeration, no future predictions being destroyed. He frames it simply. This isn't about ending someone's career. It's about shaping one. Two paths crossing, not one falling apart. And if anyone expects an easy outcome, his message is clear. Lower the noise and watch closely.
Fight inside, he can fight outside. He would have the advantage of power in this fight. One thing that I love about this fight, Bud? Shakur's very athletic, very talented. So is Teofimo. He's more explosive with power, but Teofimo is very athletic. He is very talented. You got two athletic guys, two talented guys. Again, Teofimo I would favor with the power. This is going to be interesting. I'll tell you, it's a lot to like about these two athletic talent.
Grounded perspective naturally leads into a deeper discussion when Teddy Atlas weighs in. When Teddy speaks, it's never empty commentary. It's experience talking. There's no hype hunting. Just respect for two fighters willing to take real risks. He immediately dismisses the narrative that either Teofimo or Shakur avoids challenges. This matchup alone puts that argument to rest.
Everybody that's going to be calling this fight, because there's every offense or every type of any offense that's going to be landed, it's going to have to be earned or set up. Both these guys are intelligent, right? Teofimo Lopez, explosive as hell. He's smart as well. Shoot, you got to remember, this man was the first man to beat Lomachenko. Yeah, well before Haney. Yeah, So, look, check this out. And you already know Shakur Stevenson. You know what he bring into the ring. Defense first. Yep, defense first. You ain't getting nothing.
The honesty about Styles is refreshing. This fight may not be non-stop fireworks, but it will be rich in intelligence, positioning, and timing. Teddy points out that Shakur can't rely solely on distance. He must be willing to step inside against Teofimo. At the same time, Teofimo's power remains the unpredictable factor that can flip momentum instantly. Skill versus skill, control versus explosion. This is the type of fight where one decision can change everything.
You might perceive this fight as being boring and this and that. This gonna be one hell of a technical battle that I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see this battle. Oh yeah. Yeah, because what y'all gonna witness is, I'm gonna tell you right now what you're gonna witness. You're gonna witness fundamentals, great fundamentals, versus that explosive stuff. You know what I'm saying? That explosive stuff. So like, let me give you a prime example. Not to this degree, but Tonio Tarver, Roy Jones. Tarver had them fundamentals.
Energy shifts again when Timothy Bradley Jr. joins the conversation. Tim doesn't speak like a spectator. He talks like someone who's lived it. His message is clear. Anyone approaching this fight casually will miss the story entirely. This isn't a quick exchange type of bout. It's a chess match where inches matter and mistakes cost rounds. He frames it perfectly, discipline versus explosiveness. Shakur treats defense like a locked door, opening it only when it benefits him. Teofimo, meanwhile, can turn a quiet moment into danger instantly. If you don't appreciate nuance, you'll call this boring. And that says more about the viewer than the fight.
And he get his behind caught. Just like, Norman Jr. got his behind caught, talking about, he can't punch. Oh, he can find himself picking himself off of the canvas too. Yeah, talking about Shakur can't punch. I don't see many guys just running there on Shakur. But anyways, look, y'all already know what it is. Precision, timing, right? Hitting the dude when he don't see something coming.
This is where Tim really shuts down the tired Shakur can't punch argument calmly and with facts. Power isn't just strength, it's timing, placement, and catching opponents unaware. That's high-level boxing. Reckless explosiveness gets punished, while discipline without awareness eventually cracks. If Teofimo rushes, he may be forced to reset quickly. If Shakur assumes control equals safety, that's when risk appears. This is a fight that rewards intelligence. No shortcuts, no free moments. Every attack must be built and earned. Miss a small exchange, and you miss an entire round.
Teo is nice. A lot, man, no doubt.
Yeah, and Keyshawn, speaking of Teo, you've been vocal about your desire to fight Teofimo Lopez. And of course, I was there in Las Vegas, right, when you FaceTime Teo. Now Teo's fighting Shakur Stevenson, but do we see Keyshawn and Teo at some point?
How was Teo acting when I FaceTimed him? Since you brought it up, how was he acting?
You tell me. You tell the people.
Why do I gotta tell you? What you asked me again? Because I want to answer that. What'd you say?
Do we see you and Teo fight in the future?
Here's my honest take. I see the fight starting exactly how Shakur prefers. Distance controlled, clean lanes, Teofimo working to earn space. Shakur likely stacks early rounds with precision. But this isn't a clinic. Midway through, Teofimo's timing starts to lock in. His bursts become statements instead of guesses. He won't dominate minutes, but he'll steal moments, and moments matter. I don't see panic or domination. I see tension. Shakur adjusts brilliantly, but Teofimo forces him to work harder late. I lean toward Shakur by a tight decision, not because he overwhelms, but because his discipline survives the chaos just long enough. If fans walk away debating rounds and splitting scorecards, that's not controversy. That's real boxing delivery.
Fight inside, he can fight outside. He would have the advantage of power in this fight. You know one thing that I love about this fight, Bud? Shakur's very athletic, very talented. So is Teofimo. He's more explosive with power, but Teofimo is very athletic. He is very talented. You got two athletic guys, two talented guys. Again, Teofimo I would favor with the power. This is going to be interesting. I'll tell you, it's a lot to like about these two athletic talent.
Now it's your turn. Drop your breakdown in the comments. Who controls it, where it shifts, and why? I want real boxing discussion, not surface level takes. If you're enjoying these breakdowns and honest fight talk, like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. Your support keeps this content coming the right way. We're locked in until fight night, so stay tuned.